moves after the U.S. warned all day of a full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine, that it was imminent. Vladimir Putin has just addressed the Russian people moments ago, announcing what Putin called the start of a military special operation, in his words, to demilitarize Ukraine. That Russia would bring in troops. He told Ukrainian troops to lay down arms and go home. Putin warned outside countries not to interfere. A Russian military operation, it would appear, is now underway. More than 150,000 Russian troops had been surrounding Ukraine for days now, surrounding the borders in the north, the east, and the south. The senior U.S. defense official had already reported the troops were uncoiled. They were ready all day. There were several ominous developments leading up to this tonight from Vladimir Putin himself. Russian state media now reporting that those two separatist regions inside Ukraine that Vladimir Putin declared as independent, that they were now requesting military help from Vladimir Putin and the Russian military in taking on Ukrainian forces. Of course, this was exactly what the U.S. and the West believed Putin would do, that Putin would use a request for help like this, one as a pretext or reason for moving in to explain any large-scale invasion. I want to bring in our senior foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, who's been reporting live from Kyiv for several weeks now. And Ian, you reported moments ago that you have heard some noise already off in the distance.
Yeah, the distinct sound of explosions on the horizon here in Kyiv. We've heard at least four what appear to be strikes lighting up the night sky just in the last really 10 minutes or so. As you say, it looks like the darkest day has come to pass following this speech by Vladimir Putin. We decided to launch this special military operation, calling on the Ukrainian military to lay down its arms, talking about the denazification and demilitarization of Ukraine. I mean, judging by those words, this appears to be the worst case scenario, potentially. We have to wait and see. Not just forces moving into the east to these rebel-held areas, but potentially moving on other parts of the country. This seems to be a much larger ambition. It's no longer just about the Donbass, this industrial heartland in the east of the country. It doesn't really seem to be just about Ukraine per se. He again warned foreign countries not to interfere. He talked about NATO expansionism. And I think there you have it, really, what Vladimir Putin is really concerned about restoring the might of Russia at the expense of the people of Ukraine. The Ukrainian president has spoken 3 times over the last 3 nights. He's been very clear that he will not leave the capital, Kyiv, despite being instructed to do so by the Americans, or suggested that he do so by the Americans, that he and the people will stand and fight. And that's what we've been hearing from the Ukrainian military and from people who were called up in the last few hours. They've gone from being civilians to now being soldiers having to fight on the front line. We have to wait and see what targets were struck here in Kyiv. There have been reports of explosions in other areas. You know, what is the military objective here?